Since I started using AI in my process to make videos, I'm putting out 3 times more videos in a week, and I've cut the time it takes me to make a YouTube video down from 2 hours to 45 minutes. And honestly, the quality hasn't gone down, it's gone up. And I know that kind of sounds difficult to believe, and it also sounds a little bit salesy to AI. It's not. I think if you don't use AI, that isn't a problem. But that's just what happened to me, and once I figured out how to use it, what it's good at and what it isn't, that's how it affected my videos. So I'm going to show you where it made the biggest difference, from planning to packaging and scripting, the stuff that used to eat the most time and what it saves on time, and where it completely didn't help and I had to just grind it out myself. And by the end, I'll get into what this actually means if you're thinking about starting a channel yourself. Maybe you already are a creator, because I think it changes the math more than people realize. What does AI actually help with, and how does it benefit a content creator? Well, when I'm making a video, I'll go through planning and the video idea itself. That's really important. And then straight away, I'll go to thumbnail, packaging, and titles, because one thing most creators don't notice is that the most important part is how the video is kind of branded and marketed from an impression point of view. Because without people clicking on the video, it doesn't matter if the video is good. I then have support scripting, so I'll have the main idea, but I still need to plan how I'm going to talk about it and the way I'm going to articulate the conversation. And then angles, so going back to how I'm going to pitch the video on the platform, I might want to niche it down to focus on a smaller audience, or I might want to focus on a broader audience, depending on what I'm going for. So for example, this video, I'm going to pitch the title as a more specific focus on how I've used it to make more videos on content creation, rather than how AI helps me work. That's quite broad, right? So it's really, really strong for packaging ideas. It's really, really strong for planning and scripting. I don't have it write scripts, because when I have it write scripts, sometimes there'll be some very unnatural sentences and kind of rhythm that I don't really like. So what I actually do is have it generate points and kind of chapters, so it aids in the flow of the video and the topics I'm talking about, which kind of helps me articulate the entire video as a whole a bit better. However, it's not an entirely smooth process, and it's not perfect, because obviously AI isn't. So where it fails is actually quite important to take note of, and where you should overrule it is really, really important, because it can actually negatively affect your content. So, first up, I've got thumbnails up here. Now, thumbnails is a very controversial one for me to put in the red, because you may notice there's millions of AI thumbnails around, and there's so many. But the reason I put it in red is for my specific cases, I like to have physical, real images and text in my thumbnail that I create myself. I could use AI to enhance, I could use it to fast track the video making process. I'm going to put like a little question mark up here. You look at Mr. Beast, right? He'll have his real image, the real video, and the real people, but AI will enhance it. So you've kind of got to not let AI have the entire process, because insert AI image here, it looks like crap. But that doesn't mean you can't use it. So you've got to be very careful with thumbnails. If you've got any questions about that, leave a comment. Don't use it for recording. I don't use it to enhance my audio. I don't use it to edit. I know some people that do use it to edit, but you got to know what you're doing. And to edit with AI, you need to know how to edit before you start using it. Otherwise, the video is not going to look very good, because you don't know what a good video looks like from an editing point of view. So that's very important. And obviously, voiceovers, you can use AI voiceovers, but it's really difficult to find an AI voiceover that is realistic and convincing and entertaining. I just prefer to use my own voice. And also, by using your own voice, you can also build a brand through it, which is another thing to factor in. So I'm not big on voiceovers, but of these 3, voiceovers you could probably get away with. It's not really, really important. The actual impact AI has had on my content creation. As I said before, I've been able to make 3 times more videos in a week, which is crazy. And I used to do shorts, I used to do, one long form every weekend. Now I can do 3. It's really, really helpful. And that's just through the planning process, scripting, genuinely thinking and coming up with everything up to recording the video. And that's really, really helpful. It's also increased the quality, because I'd like to think the quality of my topics have gone up, and it will continue to go up through the use of AI. And as a consequence, it comes down to outcomes. So I'm looking for click-through rate. That's a very important metric. And I'm looking for retention. And the reason retention is important is because if retention is very high, YouTube knows the video, keeps people on the platform, and that's really valuable. That's what they use in the algorithm. So that's also very, very important. So kind of over time, like my channel's output, if you will, if we come down here and just look at output, I've kind of had like a constant 1 video a week, and then boom, started using AI. It's gone up loads, which is really, really helpful. And I'm hoping in, this future span of time over here that hasn't happened yet, as a consequence, I'm going to see more impressions. And impressions is what I want to be seeing, because it's YouTube testing my content and showing it to more people. And that's what I'm using this AI for, is to get more quantity out while retaining quality, and in some cases even going up to get a bigger audience. That is what I want, and that's what every creator wants. So that's why I recommend it. So if you're starting out, it's hard to recommend because you don't know at all what you're doing. If you do, great. Good for you. Because that puts you in a really advantageous position where you can just get creating, get started, and grow really quickly. But if you're still learning, I'd only use AI if you've made a few videos and you've made some mistakes and you've learned from them. And then you can aid your process through the use of AI. So what you want is to have the skills and then leverage AI to improve your output through both quality and quantity. But you've got to see it as, there's a wealth analogy here, where wealth will increase what you already are, or amplify what you already are. So if you're really good at videos, it's going to make even more and even better videos, and that's fantastic. If you make terrible videos, you're just going to make more terrible videos. So you've got to think about that. You've got to get the video making down, know what to do. If you're confident you do, use AI, and it will serve you so well. I promise. It's really, really good. Any questions, leave a comment, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity to help content creators.